Alright, so I want to go ahead and talk about the necessity of
Yeah, it's not
lasering
even
and
range for
smoking
smoking,
out
right?
targets. Since most of you guys don't fly, you don't really get a good grasp of how difficult it is to try and find a target on the ground.
Yeah,
So
that's
I've
true.
actually just now been tasked with trying to find and locate a technical over on one of these islands. And you can go ahead and see on the map right there. Um, when I actually go ahead and I try to locate this technical, I
Stand
actually
by.
end up
I'm
looking
right in
at
front of
the
you.
wrong island. You could see on the map where the technical is actually located, but I'm actually flying over that island about right now. What I'm actually looking at is about another 200 meters north of that. That really proves how difficult it is to try and relate the map to the actual real world terrain. So what I'm actually going to do now, I'm turning around, I'm actually going to shush, and I end up do finding the target, but I want you to go ahead and try and find it yourself. And you can see how hard and how difficult it actually is. Alright, there you go. You saw the people running and the vehicle right next to the tree on the shore.
Alright,
That's where
Chuck,
they
I
are.
don't believe I have the
And
process of ID
obviously you
on
have
the
to get
technical,
super,
but I do
super
have
low
enemies
in
right
order
next to the
to be able
vehicle,
to
so I'm gonna
ID
go ahead
them.
and turn
Had they
around.
had a grenade launcher, they literally could have shot me out the sky. So I actually go ahead and I start to turn around so that I can go ahead and fire on the target. But as I am now coming out of this turn, I immediately have a new problem. I've completely lost where that location was. There's no good visual cues. There's just trees everywhere, rocks everywhere, and the shore is just there. It's impossible to see. And as you can see, I'm actually being locked on right now, and there goes a missile, and now I'm shot out the sky. That's the issue that I have if things aren't lased or smoked out. And I would love to rectify this issue because it just makes it super, super difficult to find targets. Alright, so this is another issue that I have, and that would be the way that we call in CAS. To me, it's still like not enough information as to where the target is. So normally I would receive a request that looks like this, right? There would be a grid reference, 090178. I would be making my run east to west, and the target would be a tank. And we could go ahead and draw a tank right there. And one of the issues with that is the fact that we all can agree that from here to here is going to be 100 meters. Same thing down here. Here to here is also going to be 100 meters, which makes one of these small little boxes 10 meters. The problem with that is the way that these ordinances work. If we look here at a DAR, you can see that the blast radius is only 8 meters. And this is the same thing for laser guided stuff, bombs, even one of the most powerful bombs in the game, the GBU-12, that only has a blast radius of 12 meters. The only thing that's like really, really big would be the CBU-85. But that's a cluster bomb and it has a blast radius of 85 meters. And we're not going to use a cluster bomb to destroy a tank, right? So the issue with this is I now have all of these different sections that I can technically go on, right? If I'm going east to west, I can make the run here, 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 all the way down. Like I have too many options of the path that I can take because the explosion radius is only 8 meters. And you could also say, well, why not just bomb the whole thing? Well, that's just going to take way too much ammunition just to destroy one vehicle, one tank, one building, whatever. So rather if I had like a smoke, and let's say the smoke was right here, I'll be able to see, hey, there goes the blue smoke. And even if it's off-centered from the tank, I can still see a specific visual reference so that I know that my run has to come from like one of these three sections essentially. And if you actually make the specific distinction, like, hey, it's going to be 20 meters off, it's going to be 20 meters north of the smoke because, smoke's got fucked up, then I would know, all right, this is going to be my target area instead of a 100 by 100 box. Or actually, you can even make that even smaller since I know exactly where the smoke is, and there's only a 20-meter radius around it. So it's actually going to look something like that. Actually, no, let me draw that better. probably something like this. That looks a lot better than a 100 by 100 box. So that's another reason why I think we should start using smokes a lot more. Alright, and for those of you that don't carry sidearms, there's actually a grenade launcher that you can go ahead and use, and you could also put some smokes in there, and that's what you can use to go ahead and mark some targets. And as you can see, it bounces quite a bit, so that's why it may be off a little bit, but you would be able to see that, like, hey, it bounced off course by 20 meters, but there you go.